Hello Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Aquarius, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. So with that being said, Aquarius, let's get started. Oh, also too, keep in mind that the roles can be reversed. All right, how does Aquarius currently view this relationship? Okay. Aquarius, so we do have the Ten of Pentacles, we do have the Justice card, and then we also have the Seven of Wands. For some of you, you could be connecting with a Virgo, possibly a Libra, maybe even a Leo. Doesn't necessarily have to be the case. There's somebody here, Aquarius, that wants to pursue a life with you. There's somebody here that wants to take things a step further here, is basically what I'm getting. With the Seven of Wands coming out here, it kind of looks like you're on the fence about all of this, is basically what I'm getting. I'm kind of curious as to why you're on the fence about taking things a step further with this person in particular, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be revealed once we look into how you feel. But before we even do all of that, let's see how they're currently viewing their relationship with you. We already know that this is somebody who wants to pursue a serious relationship with you, but let's see what else we can get here. Wait a minute. Wait, okay. How does this person currently view this relationship with Aquarius? All right, so let's see what we got for them. Ooh, okay. We have the Queen of Wands, we have the Queen of Pentacles, and then we also have the High Priestess. I mean, I really do like this person, Aquarius. I'm not going to lie. Queen of Wands represents somebody who's very, very attractive. Queen of Pentacles represents somebody who's very career-oriented, somebody who's very ambitious, somebody who's very big on commitment as well as loyalty. This person also comes off to me as somebody who's very spiritually based, very, very intuitive, very nurturing, very loving. I am definitely getting that. I mean, I really do like this person, honestly. I really do like this person. It looks like they're ready, though. It looks like they're ready to take things a step further here. With you, it just kind of looks like you're just like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for all of that. I don't know if I want to do all of that. Okay, well, let's see what's going on with you, Aquarius. Let's see. Let's see what has you on the fence about all of this. How does Aquarius currently feel? All right, let's see. We have the we have the Page of Wands to the Nine, not the Nine of Pentacles. We have the Page of Wands to the Queen of Pentacles, and then we also have the Nine of Swords. I just feel like you're scared. Let's look a little bit more into the Nine of Swords just to kind of see what else we can get here off of you, Aquarius, because all we know for right now is that you're on the fence about this. You're kind of like unsure, you know what I mean? If taking things a step further with this person is something that you want to essentially do. So you're kind of on the fence, and it could be stemming from a place of, I don't know if I'm really ready for all of this, but I am definitely getting that fear is also essentially holding you back from taking things a step further with this person. Don't get me wrong, I do feel like this has more to do with you, Aquarius, and less to do with like this person, right, that you currently find yourself connecting with. I mean, this is somebody who does have a lot of qualities within themselves that you're essentially looking for within a partner. So this has more to do with you and less to do with them, if that makes any sense. Let's look at the Nine of Swords. Tell me more about the Nine of Swords for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Come on. Okay, so we have the Three of Cups. We have the Empress out here. And then we also have the Seven of Cups. You could be dealing with a Cancer, possibly a Libra, maybe even a Scorpio. Doesn't necessarily have to be the case. But at the bottom of the deck, we do have the Ace of Pentacles to the King of Cups. So in regards to like, in regards to like why you're so fearful to essentially go there with this person does have a lot to do with you like having like this massive fear of like, okay, well, what if I go off and build and establish a life with this person? Like, what if it doesn't work out? Then what am I gonna do? It's the level of the unknown that I think scares you the most. It's the whole not knowing how all of this is going to essentially play out here. between you and this person that does kind of like freak you out, Aquarius. This entire situation kind of requires you to take a chance. It does kind of require you to take that leap of faith. And I think that that's something that you have a massive issue with. Considering the fact that you are an Aquarius and you guys do represent the King of Swords in tarot, I've been saying this a lot as far as like the backstory behind the King of Swords, which is very similar to like the backstory behind like the Queen of Swords. So let's talk about that, okay? So the King of Swords is somebody who has been through a lot, unfortunately, in prior relationships, making it very hard for anybody who harnesses King of Swords like energy to fully trust a person again, to fully allow themselves to go there with a person again, you know, things of that nature. So I think that that is something that I feel like you're essentially struggling with. I noticed with the King of Swords, just like with the Queen of Swords, it takes people who harness King of Swords, Queen of Swords like energy a while to feel safe and secure. I just think that the problem with the King of Swords to the Queen of Swords is this. Although it might take them a while to fully feel safe and secure, they're never gonna find themselves 100% certain of that person that they want to go off and build and establish a life with. And I've noticed that that is like the biggest issue with anybody who harnesses King of Swords like energy or Queen of Swords like energy, because the reality of the situation is you can never be 100% certain of someone. And I think that that is like the issue that the King of Swords has and the Queen of Swords has. You know, your past has essentially made you a very cautious individual. And to be honest, there's nothing wrong with playing it safe. There's nothing wrong with being, you know, cautious. There's nothing wrong with you taking your time to like really get to know that person before you go off and build and establish a life with that person. But one thing I notice about them, that anybody who harnesses King of Swords, Queen of Swords like energy, is that they want to reach this point within their relationship with that person that they're really interested in. They want to reach this point of feeling 100% certain. And they never actually ever get to that point, because you can never be 100% certain of anything or anyone. So that's why I'm saying, Aquarius, that this entire situation, you know, it does kind of require you to take that chance. It does kind of require you to take that leap of faith. Now, if we're going based off of everything that you know about this person thus far, if we're going based off of, you know, how you feel about this person thus far, I mean, you basically look at them as somebody who is worth investing your all into. But it's the whole, but what if this and what if that, you know? It's like you're basically striving to reach this point of feeling 100% certain. And I hate to tell you this, but you're never going to get there. And it's just something that I've noticed throughout the years when it comes down to the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Anybody who harnesses that energy, it's like they want to be 100% certain of that person. They want to be 100% sure. And unfortunately, it's like they never get to that point, because you can never be 100% certain of anyone or anything in this life, you know? So that's the dilemma that I feel like you're essentially having, is you're waiting to feel 100% certain of that person. Like, you might find yourself feeling safe and secure with them, but you don't feel 100% certain about this person, you know, because we do kind of see you entertaining but what if this happens? And then what if that happens? I'm not trying to go through this. I'm not trying to fucking go through that. You know what I mean? It looks like you had a really bad experience in a prior relationship, which has molded you into the person that you are today, which is like a very cautious individual, somebody who likes to play it safe. And listen, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but no matter how much you want to play it safe, you're going to have to essentially take a chance when it comes down to love. Love is like a fucking roll of the dice. You don't know what the hell you're going to get, but you should definitely roll the dice either which way. You know what I mean? So like I said, dude, this does have more to do with you and very little to do with the actual person that wants to take things a step further with you. It has a lot to do with the, but what if I go through this? And what if I go through that? And I don't know. I just don't feel 100% certain that this person's not going to break my heart. They're not going to disappoint me. And it's like, you're never going to reach that point with anybody. I see the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords try their hardest to get to this point of feeling like, all right, boom, like, I am 100% certain of this person. I know without a shadow of a doubt they're never going to abandon me, or they never get to that point. They never get to, because you can never be 100% certain of anyone or anything, you know? You just can't, not in this life, unfortunately. How does this person How does this person currently feel? Well, yeah, it looks like y'all been dealing with one another for quite some time now, Aquarius. So as far as they're concerned, you've had plenty of time to figure out if they're what you want or not. So, you know, as to why y'all are not taking things a step further, they don't understand what the holdup is. And that's the thing that I've been trying to like get people to understand when it comes down to dealing with a King of Swords or dealing with a Queen of Swords. It takes anyone who harnesses King of Swords or Queen of Swords like energy a while. A while. And when I say a while, I don't mean like a few days or like a few weeks or even a few months. I'm talking about years. Okay? Sometimes it takes the King and the Queen of Swords years to be like, all right, let's do this. I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna take that leap of faith, like years. And that's the thing, right? Is that y'all been dealing with one another for a little while now. Aquarius, and you're still like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think I need more time, you know? Now, if you guys have been dating like for a few months now, it might take you a lot longer, you know, than that to really figure out if this is something that you want to go off and pursue or not. I'm just being honest, just going based off of the King and the Queen of Swords and how, you know, they function and operate, you know, when it comes down to love. But I just kind of feel like this person, like, and I get where they're coming from. Like, their whole MO is like, they don't want to continue to pour more time and energy towards this if this is not going to go anywhere. Like, if y'all are not going to end up together, like, just tell them. You know, if y'all are not going to end up getting married, just tell them. If you guys are not going to end up starting a family, just tell them. Like, they just don't want to continue to invest more time and energy towards this. And then in the end, you decide, I'm not ready for this. I actually don't want this, you know? It's not that you don't want this, because you do, but the dilemma you're facing is the whole, but I just want to wait until I'm 100% certain. And it's never going to happen. I've seen the King and the Queen of Swords do this, and I've been doing tarot for years. I've seen them do this, you know, over and over and over again, and they never reach that point within their, you know, dynamic with that person that they're really interested in, where they feel 100% certain. I've never seen it happen a day in my life. They're either forced to take that leap of faith, or they just run in the opposite direction. That's the only options that they end up facing in the end, ultimately. They're either going to take that chance / leap of faith, or they're just going to run in the opposite direction and just play it safe. That's the only two options they're ever faced with. So, and that's the options that you're being faced with. What actions? Yeah, well. It's like a part of you wants to go there with this person, and is kind of stemming from a place of like, but damn, yo, like if I run in the opposite direction of this, I'm probably never gonna find someone like this again. And it's like, you know, but then there's that other part of you that's like, but I'm not 100% certain of them, you know? So maybe I should run. Maybe I should run in the opposite. That's the only two options, I'm telling you. The King of Swords and the Queen of Swords are left facing with in the end. As they're on this journey towards thinking that they're going to reach this point of being 100% certain of the person that they're with, they end up reaching this point where they find themselves at a crossroads, you know? Do I take that chance / leap of faith? Or do I just run in the opposite direction now and save myself from this, that, and the third? You know what I mean? Okay, let's look at this person. What actions? Come on. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So we have the Ace of Wands, we have the Ten of Wands, and then we also have the King of Cups. Looks like you're being hit with an ultimatum, my friend. And to be honest, I'm pretty sure we could all see things from like this person's perspective. I mean, it looks like they've invested a lot of time and energy towards this relationship between the two of you thus far. You know what I mean? They've given you time. It's not that they haven't given you time, because I am getting that they've given you time, Aquarius. They've given you time, okay? And now you're being hit with an ultimatum. We're either going to do this or we're not going to do this. Kind of looks like the ball is essentially in your court. And it kind of looks like this person's looking at you like you don't really know what you want to do. You don't know if you want to go off and pursue a life with them or not, but the choice is entirely up to you. Whatever you decide to do in the end will determine how, you know, they move forward, whether that be with you or without you. But this person is definitely prepared to walk away from this entire situation if you're not ready for anything serious. They're prepared for that. They're ready for that. If you tell this person, nah, you know, I just can't do this. I'm just not 100% certain of you. I just can't do this. I'm so sorry. They will leave you alone for the rest of their life. Now, if you decide to go off and pursue them in a life with them, then different story. You know what I mean? Then your life begins with this person. You know what I mean? Your life begins with this person. Let's pull some advice for you in regards to your current situation. What advice can you give me for Aquarius? For Aquarius. We have the Five of Pentacles, we got the Knight of Wands, we have the King of Cups, so the Three of Wands, and then we also have the Ace of Wands. Okay. Okay. This is kind of like the epitome of, when it comes, excuse me, when it comes onto this person to the right of me, this is like the epitome of you finally getting exactly what it is that you essentially always wanted, okay? So with that being said, you know, it's kind of like the situation where it's like asking, you shall receive. You're getting exactly what it is that you ordered. You're getting exactly what it is that you essentially wanted. You manifested, in other words, this person, you know, into fruition. That's just what Spirit wants you to essentially know, is that you asked for all this. You wanted somebody who was going to be faithful and loyal to you. Here they are. You know, you wanted somebody who was going to be down for you. Here they are. You wanted somebody who, you know, was willing to essentially take you seriously, invest all that they have to essentially give into you in this dynamic that the two of you share with one another. Here they are. You know, you got what you asked for. Now with the Knight of with the Knight of Wands to the Five of Pentacles coming out here, I'll be honest, if you do walk away from this relationship, I do see you having a very hard time, you know, finding like someone like them within someone else. I am definitely, you know, getting that. It's not to say that you're never going to find anybody else after this person. You definitely will. They just won't be like them. You see what I mean? Like, they more than likely are going to have like a fraction of what you truly want and desire. So if you get up and walk away, look at it as like the epitome of you choosing to essentially settle for less than what they're trying to essentially bring to the table, which is a whole lot, by the way. If you decide to go off and pursue a life with them, you'll basically be receiving everything that you ever essentially asked for, but the choice is entirely up to you. So that's what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.